view. Can you waggle your tail?
Okay, that's probably the loudest cheering on all of CitizenCon, because the developers showed off this, I think it's amazing, this new flight model that looks very similar to War Thunder's atmospheric flight. And when this comes into the game, it's going to be amazing because it's really going to change the atmospheric flight situation from just pressing B and waiting until you get dropped 20 kilometers in front of the target into actual atmospheric flight, where you can really dive in the atmosphere and enjoy flying your spaceship. And however, it's going to get delayed, okay? I'm going to show what happened yesterday on Star Citizen Live. That is about 1 minute of the lead flight system developer and Jared talking about it.
Gameplay there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about master modes. We got a couple questions here about master modes. What is the current backlog of ships needing to be converted to master modes? A couple, 30, all? I think it's like all of them. Like,
well,
talk to me.
The proper answer is all of them. I mean I can't check how many flight controllers we have, but we have like it's definitely in the triple digits. When we're gonna move the stuff over to the PU, we will not do it all in perfection at once. So we're probably gonna have like the speed tuning first. So basically limiting how fast the ships can go. And then we're gonna implement the actual handling changes of the ship archetypes, meaning like streamlining all the ships so that they feel similar, bespoke to the archetype that they're supposed to be in. And then we're going to go to the individual differences. So this will be like a multiple tier thing, which basically will take some time. I don't know how long that will take. I mean, this will be on Rich Towler's team, so he can probably give you a better when answer. But it will come in multiple stages.
Okay. It's one of those things where we invite people to always look at the public roadmap. That's your best indicator about when anything is going to come to a particular patch and whatnot.
Okay, so I'm going to use harsh language now. I don't really care for the roadmap. Because Chris said that everything we see on CitCon will be in the game within 12 months. And now it's almost 4 weeks later after CitCon. And they're already starting to delay, I think, the most critical feature in the game that's related to a space flight and atmospheric flight. Or perhaps I'm just reading something wrong in the answer the developer gave, because he talks about 3 stages, and in all of these 3 stages, he just mentions some minimal parts of those 2 major features that don't really matter for them. For example, he doesn't talk about atmospheric flight. He just talks about first adding the different speed modes. That's the different master modes, navigation mode, and I think the other, I'm not sure what it's called. And the only difference here is that you fly at 20% of the current max speed, but you can use all your weapons and shields on. Now that in itself is a good idea to have in a game, to slow things down a bit. But it's a tiny fraction of the other thing that the game should be, like you heard on the cheering on the CitCon clip. And here's my worry that they're just going to go for the quote-unquote tier 0 thing, when the next year we're just getting different speed modes, but no atmospheric flights and no manual quantum travel. And then they can still say, oh, look, we added a base version of it in the first 12 months. Because look at how the game currently functions. The game is currently not a type of game where you have the entire world full of fun gameplay activities and you just choose what you want to do. The game is currently, like the way I play it, and I think most players play it like that too, is they play to avoid the annoying parts as much as they can to get to the fun parts. Because the game currently is like this soup of non-functioning gameplay with small bits of great gameplay floating in between. And flying currently is a chore in this game, whether it's atmospheric or space flight. For example, if you want to travel to a moon and you want to travel to a point of interest, you fast travel to it. So you press B to spool, you listen to the spooling sound, and that really irritating quantum drive being ready sound, that background, that boom 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 sound. and then you hold B, and then I usually tab out of the game because I can't stand listening to that magic whoosh sound when the quantum drive starts. So current flight is this gigantic obstacle to having fun in this game. For example, recently I had a vulture and I tried to get myself a faster quantum drive. So I could get to the other end of Stanton in 4 minutes instead of 12 minutes, okay? But then I looked at, I get more fuel consumption, which means I have to refuel more often. And then I thought, the time it would take and the annoying chore it is to actually fly to a space station on the current flight model, hold B again, listen to the whoosh sound, land the thing, press F1, hope the mobi-glass doesn't bug out, refuel the ship, and then travel to the next destination. That would eat as much time as just flying there with the slowest quantum drive. And I would only have to press B once, and I only have to tab out once and wait 12 minutes, instead of having to tab out 4 times. See what I mean? Like, I'm basically calculating my gameplay experience around the least annoying things I would have to do. And that's all the fault of the current flight model. And all of that would be fixed if they would prioritize and throw that flight model that they showed off in Sitcon here in the video into the game right now as fast as they can. Like the complete thing. Not a tiny bit of it and then wait 3 or 4 years. Like the whole thing needs to be in the game right now.